Alright, welcome to Chapter 10. Here's the first video, and just a reminder, as I mentioned at the end of Chapter 8, don't forget the online portion of this unit exam is going to be available Friday night, but has to be completed by Monday night. Not started by Monday night, but completed by Monday night at, I believe, 11:30, but you can check that to be sure. Make sure you give yourself enough time to get the parts of the online exam done. There'll be a matching portion for the vocabulary and the other portion for just the general information as well. Alright, but here going through Chapter 10, this is the chapter, well, as always, just remember the learning outcomes, be able to do what they say. But this is a chapter that starts out as a major review. A product is a good or a service, tangible and intangible. It could be an idea. That's nothing new. The marketing mix, nothing new once again. So what I want to do is jump ahead a little bit to talking about different classifications or types of consumer products. Remember, consumer products are the ones that are satisfied to that are made to satisfy needs or wants of a consumer, the end user. Business products are used to often manufacture other goods or services by a company, not used by the end user then. Alright, so if you're looking here, consumer products are broken down into 4 different categories or types. Convenience, shopping, specialty, and unsought. Now this slide here is going to give you a little bit more information about each of these. And you can see exactly what they are here, but I want to just walk you through a couple of examples maybe of each of these. So for the convenience products, as you can see, these are usually the ones that don't cost a whole lot of money and you don't have to think a whole lot about when you buy them. Some examples of these could be candy, soft drinks, sodas, I don't know, just simple things like that, gum that you buy on a regular basis. Shopping products could be, these are going to be a little bit more expensive. Well, not usually a little bit more. Sometimes it can be pretty expensive, but this is where you're going to be shopping around. These are where you're going to do your comparison shopping and make sure you're getting the best deal and you're getting exactly what you want. Could be anything from appliances, electronics, furniture, clothing, even where you're at right now. How about colleges and universities? That could happen too. Specialty products, these are something where you're not going to accept a substitute for it. It's something specific that you're looking for. Sometimes this can even be a little bit more elaborate. This could be like the expensive or luxurious cars. These could be fine jewelry, things like that. And then lastly, unsought products are ones that you really don't know about. You didn't know that they exist. You're not looking for them. You're not seeking them out. So this could just be a new product in general. This could be things like the book uses, I love the example, burial plots in a cemetery. Things like that that people don't really actively look for. Alright, now noting the difference between these 3 here, be able to differentiate these 3. Like on the last slide here, going back here, definitely know the difference between these 4, be able to explain them. And then down here, make sure that you can differentiate between these 3 things. A product item, a product line, and a product mix. The next slide is going to show you a visual example using Campbell's soup. Campbell's, not just soup I should say, but Campbell's products, soup being one of them. The product mix at the bottom is just everything, all the products that they sell. Okay, product line are the groupings of closely related products that can kind of fit together. And then the product item is each individual specific product that is sold, on its own. So if you're looking at this slide here, you're seeing that the product mix is everything that's listed. The product lines are the vertical columns, the soups, the sauces, the entrees, the beverages, the biscuits, and then the items are going to be each individual thing listed there. Cream of chicken soup, cream of mushroom soup, vegetable beef soup, all of those. Now we're talking about the product lines. Those are like the soups and the entrees and all that. The benefits of going with a product line. All right, this slide here, definitely know the benefits of a product line, how it can help a company. The first way is advertising economies. This just simply is saying that product lines can provide economies of scale in advertising. Okay, we talked about economies of scale a couple times. I just used that, I believe, in the last video, if I'm not mistaken as well. So you should know about economies of scale, but this time it applies to advertising, not so much production. Package uniformity. Packages in a product line could look the same while still maintaining their individual identities. So as long as the company has a good image, then that uniformity could really help all the products out in that product line. Standardized components could just reduce manufacturing and inventory costs. Efficient sales and distribution is next. Product line does enable a full range of choices to customers, and then as a result, better distribution and retail coverage. So it does help not only the business but also the consumer as well. And then the last one is the equivalent quality. Usually all products in a product line are perceived as having the same quality. As long as that's a good quality, you're in good shape. You're in good shape. All right, types of adjustments. I would be aware of the 3 different strategies for making adjustments: product modification, product repositioning, and product line extension or contraction. All right, and know those, be able to explain those as well. Next slide is talking about product modifications, different types of them. Different types of product modifications are quality, functional, and style. Okay, quality, functional, and style. Planned obsolescence is, as you can see here, practice of modifying products so those that have already been sold become obsolete before they actually need replacement. Obsolete just means no longer needed or wanted, kind of taken off the market a little bit. Quality modification is just changing a product's durability, really. Functional, try not to use the word quality there also, okay? Quality modification, changing a product's durability or dependability. Functional modification is a change in the product's versatility, safety, convenience, effectiveness. Style modification are the aesthetics. All right, these are where you change just simple things. You don't change the product itself, just maybe the color of the product. Everything is the same, but just the aesthetics are a little different. Second way of adjusting product items, product lines, and product mixes is by repositioning. Remember, repositioning is just changing the consumer's perception of the brand. Changing demographics, declining sales, or changes in the social environment often motivate firms to reposition their established brand. So those are the 3 things that could cause repositioning. Okay, product line extensions is just adding products to your existing product line, just bringing more products in. Company can add too many products, or demand can actually change for the type of products that were introduced over time. So sometimes contracting product lines is a strategy that companies have to use in order to deal with that overextension, which you see on the slide. Okay, so contracting product lines is also an option here as well. All right, definitely know the differences between the 4 things here. Okay, please be aware of differences between a brand name, mark, equity, and a global brand. These are things that I talked about a lot in class. Again, I'm not going to read them to you, so just make sure that you are aware of those differences, be able to explain those as well. Now, benefits of branding. This is another good topic for you to be able to know. Branding has three main purposes, and that's product identification, repeat sales, and new product sales. The most important purpose, though, is product identification. If they can't identify the product, you're not going to get the other two things. All right, so brand equity, remember, this refers to the value of a company and the brand names. Global brands, remember, we're talking about at least a third of its earnings from outside of its home country. These things are all part of this as well. Brand loyalty is big. Consistent preference for one brand over all others. That is sometimes a little bit more common in some product categories than others, but that is obviously the end result that you want to be able to attain. Different strategies here. A lot of times if a brand is actually used, the choice is made between the manufacturer's brand or private brand, or sometimes even both. Can be both as well. With either manufacturer's brand or private brand, a decision is usually then made between individual, family, or a combination of them. All right, so make sure that this next slide here, know the difference here between these. Know the difference between the branding strategies. The manufacturer's brand is just an example like Sony. You know, that's like the company who buys different parts to put a product together to then sell to the consumers. Private brands are the brands that are owned by the retailer, sometimes a wholesaler, but a lot of times it's the retail store. It's the retail store's brand. Okay. Sometimes you might have heard it called a private label or a store brand. Same thing. And then the last one, the captive brand, is manufactured by a third party, but exclusively for a particular retailer. So it's only sold in that retail store, but they don't want it to be considered a private brand. They don't want to have that affiliation with the retailer, because sometimes there's a negative affiliation there. Advantages of manufacturers, the manufacturer's brands. As you can see here, there are a lot of them. These are things that you're probably most common with. Okay, you can see the advantages of those. Now, knowing not only the differences between them, but being able to explain the advantages of each one would definitely make for a good in-depth question here. So not only the strategies, right, but also the advantages for each of the different strategies, being able to explain those, I would recommend. Okay? Advantages of private brands. The biggest one is the first bullet there. You get much higher profits on your own brand compared to that of things that you have to purchase somewhere else and then sell at a higher profit margin, or I should say a higher markup. All right, and then third is the captive brand. And the biggest one here is that there's no evidence of the store's affiliation. It's not considered that generic or that retailer brand. It's got its own identity, in essence. Right, so you should know the difference also between an individual brand and a family brand. Individual brands are using different brand names for every single product. Family brand is where you have multiple products using the same name or at least identity. In class, I think I used the example of Sunkist, not just a soda, but also oranges themselves and like fruit snacks and things like that. Lastly, last slide here for this particular video, just look over this slide here. I want you to know the different types of co-branding, be able to differentiate between ingredient, cooperative, and complementary. All right, and then that's where I'm going to stop this video, and then the next video will be a shorter end to Chapter 10.